Hey boys, how's it going? It's Aki again, back with another Clash of Clans video. And today's video, we're going back into Raid Weekend because a lot of you guys have been asking for it. So, first things first, let's go into this past district, and let's just run through all the attacks I did. So, the only one I didn't get to do was Goblin Mines, if I remember correctly. So, for this base, let's just take a look at it and then we'll dissect it and then you'll see what I did and why I did it. So first things first, I saw these two trash buildings. I was just like, you know what? I'll take those out. That way I can push my golem up towards a core. Yes, you probably could have used Sparky here if you wanted. The reason I didn't like the pathing. Like, say if Sparky went to the left-hand side, she's going to be shot by all these things and I won't have adequate tanking. And then if she gets into the core, yes, I could use a rage, but I felt like it was going to be a little too much damage. So first thought that popped in my mind, I was just like, why not just get the golem to go right into the core, take the minion hives, the rocket artilleries, all those multi-cannons, and kind of do that. So we'll click play now. I get my two barbarians down. This left side barracks doesn't go down, so I'm like, you know what, I'll zap it. There's no inferno here, so it's fine. And then I'm going to get a haste spell down, and then watch. I'm going to put my golem in, but there comes the frost spell, and then I put it on the backside minion hive is because it's going to cause problems later. I can take this minion hive out pretty quick. And I've got a bunch of hog riders. Those I go in full force is because I don't want my golem to take too much damage right off the bat. So I was just like, you know what? Let's get those hog riders in. They'll take care of that minion hive because it can do a lot of damage to your golem. And then they'll also lock onto the rocket artillery, so it's only going to require the golem to take one shot. And now at this point, I'm just going to let golem grind it out with those hog riders. And then I'm going to break into this compartment here and then use 3 barbarians just to take out the bomb tower. That's the goal. If it happens, it's good. If not, I wasn't too worried about it. I just wanted to get some damage off. But now it's pretty much just up to golem. So I'll go 4 times speed through this because you guys don't need to be watching the poor golem. But again, remember, the plan was to get that second minion hive, and look, we got the job done. That's what I'm saying. So when you're doing like raid weekend attacks, have a plan for your second attack. Don't just think, oh, I'm going to use this for the first attack and then I'll wing it for the next one. I'm pretty much setting up my second attack with my first one. And here I was just like, you know what, let's just run double golem, show the boys how double golem works on skeleton. As you can see, the pathing's pretty nice. So you can go up the left-hand side, you can go up the right-hand side, whatever you like. I saw all these point defenses, so I was just like, you know what, I'm going to put a frost there. And then the second frost, you can honestly put wherever you need be. I think I put it on this cannon right here to get these point defense. And then here, this left-hand side, I made one mistake. I brought hog riders, but what you should do is a skeleton barrel. No, 2 skeleton barrels would work much better. And then you could wall break this cannon in, and they would have done fine. I forgot about that, so I just brought hog riders. It didn't change too much. So there goes my first frost. And I don't think I put my second frost right off the bat, or I was like kind of waiting. So here comes some hog riders. Look at that rocket shot. Oh, it hit those hog riders. That hurt a lot. My goal here was to have this left side cleared by the hog riders, and then my golem would just work his way up top. I brought a set of minions, more so just to deal with these trash buildings, because you never want to run out of time with your golem for how slow he is. But with the haste spell, he's not too bad. And then before this multi-cannon kind of locks on, I let it hit one hog rider, but then I put some barbarians down because I didn't want the barbarians to get touched by the multi-cannon. It'll take them down. So now those barbarians are just going to help with some trash buildings, and then the hog riders are going to join up with the golem, and they're just going to kind of clutch the rest of this. So we'll go 2 times speed through here. But there goes my second frost on those point defense. I got every single key point defense in there, and then there's only 4 backside point defense that you don't have to be too stressed on. And there's the minions going to just kind of help the golem, and the golem's just going to kind of go for a spin around the base as well. But that's what I mean. Like, to my point there, like, plan your second hit, not just with golem, with Sparky too. Have that in mind. I think I was talking to a couple of the guys in the Discord about it. I was just like, I don't plan my first hit just like, oh, this will work, that's why I'm using it. No, I'm using it so I know my second hit's going to work 100%. Because I never, ever want to get a 3-shot. Those hurt, and you lose a bunch of trophies, so it stings. Or you don't lose a bunch of trophies, but you don't get where you want to get if you keep like 3-shotting these like districts down here. But we got that done. And that skeleton park for you. Sadly, I didn't get to do Goblin Mines, but I think it was stock. My buddy tried it. Didn't get it quite done. So we'll go to Golem Quarry now. This one, right off the bat, I was just like, you know what? Very compact, so I'm going to make use of the Rage spell for up here, this left-hand side area. And you're like, bro, why'd you bring 2 jump spells? Well, I was like, you know what? I'll jump kind of at this rock face to get my Sparky in towards here. And then one thing you can notice, when people don't change this blast bow positioning, you can use a battle ram to tank, and then one skeleton barrel, and it'll take this all out. It's kind of like what I wanted to do on Skeleton Park with the rocket artillery, but I just forgot about it, but here I won't. So that'll take out this area. You can put one barb down once the blast bow goes down to just really help clear it up. Then I'm going to get a second barbarian to just start cleaning these trash buildings. And then the goal here is to just get my Sparky to the left-hand side. It doesn't quite work how I intend, but that's what you kind of got to get good at, is just making a fresh plan as, say, stuff starts hitting the fan, you know what I mean? But let's give this a shot. So we're going to start off with a battle ram. Then we're going to get in. I think I toss in a second battle ram just for some extra tanking. And then I'm going to get my skeleton barrel at like the bottom corner there, and then it's going to work its way in. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to let that blast bow go down, and then I'm going to get a barbarian in there as well, just to help speed things up, really, is what I'm doing. Because I have extra barbarians, and I brought a lot. I think I brought a total of 8. Yeah, so 8, and then there goes this barbarian. You probably could have brought a set of minions. That would have been smart, but I forgot. And then I put a jump spell. Actually, I didn't forget. I think I did that deliberately because I was just like, you know what, the barbarians are going to be fine here. And some of these defenses, like multi-cannons, they'll get shot at by the Sparky once without the rage, and it won't go down. So one single barbarian helps just clutch it. That was the key reasoning to bring that. I get a graveyard spell in. Just in all those key point defenses, it'll distract the both multi-mortars, both blast bows, both rocket artillery. So that's super clutch. And now at this point, I'm going to start with getting my giant in. And then I'm going to get Sparky behind. And then there's so many traps there, so it's a good thing to test with, like, say, a test battle ram. And at this point, because those giants are going to take so much damage, I'm a little quicker with deploying them. And here's this jump spell. Here's where I thought I'd be okay. But I think I made one little key grave mistake that maybe I opened up the wall too soon. But look, my Sparky jumps. And I thought she was going to go to the left-hand side, but no, she doesn't. She goes to the right. So I was like, you know what? I'll get a battle ram. So it actually wasn't my mistake. Then I just completely changed it. I was like, you know what? Let's forget about the left-hand side. I can worry about that later. Let's take care of this right-hand side. And look at that barbarian. It clutched everything. So I really didn't need a set of minions. It would have been fine either way. If you like minions, totally, you could have gone for it. Would have been 100% fine. Now Sparky's getting to like 35-ish% health. And I'm just getting a barbarian to tank there. That spirit thrower is locked on a Sparky. That was kind of sad. I had that giant, and I thought it was going to jump ahead, but it didn't, so I got locked onto. And now, at this point, I'm thinking, like, Sparky, come back. And so I get in the skeleton barrel to start tanking right off the bat, but she wants to go up towards the top, so I was like, you know what, should I just put my jump spell there? I do. Takes one shot, and it's like, you know what, never mind. I don't want that actually anymore with that jump. So now I just let Sparky get one shot off under rage. That was pretty much all I was going to get, and that's it for that one. And then second replay, I was just like, you know what? For the second hit, let's bring back Sparky for sure. Another rage spell in here, because I don't think this first rage spell will touch these blast bolts. So I wanted to have it in there. I brought in a P.E.K.K.A. just for fun. The key reason for that is once all those skeletons start spawning from the graveyard, the P.E.K.K.A. can just kind of walk and just one-shot some defenses. And that's very helpful to speed an attack up, A, and then require less work from your Sparky. So that was the goal there. This right-hand side with this rocket artillery, I'm not too worried about, because if I put one graveyard spell there, I feel like I can tank really well for those 4 spirit throwers and 3 cannons in there. Backside, 2 cannons and a spirit thrower, I'm not even really planning for, and I'm not too worried about. But I do know that I'm starting from this left-hand side. I start down with a graveyard spell at the dead zone of the multi-mortar. Remember, that's a key thing. Battle ram to test where my troops are going to go. A giant to also test, and then my Sparky, because I didn't want Sparky to use the other jump and go that way. Hence why I tested for it. So now under rage, watch this. It's going to shoot. Boom. Takes all that down. See it. Put the second rage down. Let it overlink. Like create like Olympic rings with it. But now look. Now Sparky's going to lock onto these. Going to almost one-shot them because they're pretty low anyway. Boom. And now we're on to the spirit thrower. At this point, I'm just like, you know what? I'll toss my P.E.K.K.A. down. Just to either jump out in front and get those cannons. But it actually goes towards this multi-mortar. When I do deploy it, I'm little slow on it, but I just kind of wanted to help out and go to these cannons. But the thing is, this district hall's still up, so it's going to join back that. That's actually not too bad because these giants are going to jump out in front. We've got our graveyard deployed, and now I just want these battle rams to get knocked down so those graveyards can actually start spawning for me and help me tank. But Sparky's going to crush through the rest of this. Like, it's so easy. Take a shot there, and then Sparky's going to take a shot here and just kind of wipe the rest of this base. And like I said, the cannons and spirit throw I wasn't too worried about, and Sparky's still like 40-ish% health, I'd say. So I think we did a fairly good job at tanking for it. Then let's move on to Builder's Workshop. This was another good one. Just over the fact that you guys can see like why I do what I do is because here totally Haste Graveyard Sparky could have worked easily, like no worries. But because I saw 3 giant cannons pretty close to each other, the blast bow right beside them, I was like, you know what, I'll use an early rage. And then I see these point defense, I'm like, so I also don't want my Sparky to take early damage. So I was like, I'll use 1 graveyard early on, say at the Spirit Thrower. I'll like break through the walls with some battle rams, get a giant to tank, and then my Sparky behind. It'll take care of that. That's the whole goal for that. Second graveyard will go kind of at this multi-mortar dead zone. That way 4 giant cannons will be shooting there and a blast bow. That's ideal if you get the proper tanking. If it say does lock on your Sparky, don't panic, because then you can use the rage a little sooner rather than later. That's why I never place my rage a little like right up at the start of the attack, is because sometimes you can't trust the Sparky's pathing. Well, you can, like you can direct Sparky's pathing pretty well, but sometimes it doesn't go that way. Like for example, that last attack, my Sparky went where I didn't think she'd go. So have that rage in the bank so you actually can make use of it 100%. But first, I just get some barbarians down to open up the deployment zone, take care of some of these trash buildings. And then the reason I didn't use a minion is because there's lots of air defense right by and a spirit thrower. So I get my graveyard in, battle ram in, get a giant in, and right away, as you can see, I did a pretty good job tanking here. Look at my giant. It's going to take quite a bit of damage. I'm like, right as it goes down, got another battle ram in, wait as long as I possibly could to get that second giant in. It's getting extremely low because there's so much point defense, splash damage, big key defense. It's like the rocket shooting. So now I'm just slowly getting in giants. There goes my second graveyard spell. I angled it a little bit to the right because I was a little worried about that backside giant cannon. And now under rage, I got it down. Watch this. He's going to take his first shot, take the blast bow down to half health. They got some barbarians trying to help clutch it in there, but it goes down. And then it's going to lock on and run out of the rage almost, but it still locks just enough onto that giant cannon and take a shot off under rage, and got so much value from me. Here I wish I didn't have all those battle rams, and I wish I had say like 2 more giants, because I felt like I would have got a lot more value, because my Sparky still from that whole start is 80% health, and we got through, what was that, 2 giant cannons, a blast bow, and all that point defense. Here just even 1 giant would have done me wonders. But I was just, again, I should mention this because we haven't done one of these videos in a long time. Little point defense is great to tank with battle rams. Big key splash defense, giant cannons, rocket artilleries, blast bows, minion hives are great with giants. So just keep that in mind whenever you guys do your attacks. But we'll go 4 times speed through this because Sparky's going to get that shot off. And look at that. Did you see my plan? I wanted to get that whole core taken down. And look what happened. That happened. And we took 7.5 on the first hit. Second hit, you can use whatever you want. I wanted to have some fun. Just put some Haste Graveyard Sparky in there. I get a battle ram, giants, get my Sparky in there. And I just want to see a big kaboom. That's pretty much it. Like, that's my only explanation I can give you guys why I did that. But it's so much fun. Sparky is seriously one of the best troops in all of Raid Weekend, I'd say. I can't think of anything even close. Obviously, a Golem is a close favorite to my heart. But in terms of anyone using this, like if you guys can, oh, you guys are going to love Sparky. It's so good. But next weekend, oh, I am so excited for what I've been working on. It's taken me a while. I know you guys have been like, yo, where are the Raid Weekend videos at? Trust me, it'll be well worth it because it'll be something a lot different. And I think you guys are going to like it a lot because it will help a lot of you lower level people. That's all I'm going to say. That's a little sneak peek you guys get. But yeah, stay tuned for Friday's video. It's going to be awesome. So we got that district taken care of. And then let's make our way to one of my favorite districts, Balloon Lagoon. So it's worth 10.4k. What do I see? A little more spread out, right? So I was just like, this tells me right off the bat, I want to use Haste. But you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Not Haste Graveyard, not Rage Graveyard, not any graveyard? Yeah, you heard me right. Reason being, do you guys see the placement of these single Infernos? I saw right off the bat. I opened up Balloon Lagoon. I was like, wait, I can exploit that with the Frost Bell. Because sometimes they can be annoying. With all that point defense beside, they can take care of a graveyard spell very, very quickly. The point defense, and then also the single Infernos, if they're not frosted. So, I was like, you know what? I'll do a better job tanking. And I don't use Sparky at all. And you're like, what? Why? This is the reason, because I felt like I could frost this, and I was just like, you know what? If I don't need crazy tanking for my Sparky, let's not use it. Let's use Golem instead, because Golem can make it through these defenses with a bunch of Hog Riders. Because look here, all point defense. All point defense, the only splash are these two rockets, and they're right beside each other. So check this out. I'm gonna go, oh sorry, not 2 times speed, but I'm gonna get a Barbarian down here, open up the deployment zone for me. I'm gonna let him do its thing. Look at that. Got the rocket in there, 2 Infernos, Spear Thrower, Cannon, Crusher, and a backside cannon there. So I get my haste down, get my Golem, get him walking up to this right hand side, and then you'll see me just deploy Hog Riders. Those are just to get those point defense off the Golem, because they can actually be quite annoying. I know a lot of people think like point defense isn't too scary for the Golem. It actually is, because once you see this left hand stack, when there's like 4 cannons, 5 spear throwers, and a multi cannon, that Golem's health will go down in an instant. So that's where Hog Riders come in, and look at these little cannons. I'm just trying to pick them off and take him out so Golem doesn't take too much damage. And then there's pretty much just a rapid rocket and air defense, and then he's going to turn into this last big push, and that's where I'm just going to chuck 2 more Hog Riders in just to kind of help him out. And that rocket locks on. Right when that happened, that's when I was just, you know what, I'm going to use the Hog Riders. Boom, they go in. They're going to take out the Spear Thrower. This is more reasoning just for me to just quickly get the Golem in there. He's going to lock on a District Hall. You saw me putting 2 Barbarians just sliding under. That was more to distract the Inferno, because the Inferno, once locked on, is going to take 12 seconds to ramp up, by the way, when it's under Frost, just so you guys know, at max level. Then, I was hoping it would take out this Bomb Tower. It does. And does it get this cannon? Yes, it... Oh, no, it doesn't, but the bombs get it, so that was kind of cool. And then there's 4K left up, so I was just like, what should I bring now? I brought in Sparky. This is what I mean, like... Use these troops to your advantage. Like, how should I explain this? What I mean is, like, see how I exploited those Inferno positioning? And then I was just like, because that for the second hit works perfectly too. Because look, these point defenses, so easy for just Graveyard to tank for your Sparky. And now look at the pathing I've created. I've gutted the core, so my Sparky giant combo with some battle rams can just go up this left hand side, and I can just work through these point defenses, this backside rocket, Inferno, and then end off here at these cannons. So my plan for my first hit already led me into my second hit. Now at this point, just get a battle ram in, Barbarian in, Giant in, just to... At this point, I'm just testing. Is that where my troops are going to go? Then I put Sparky. There goes the Graveyard spell. At this point, I want my battle rams to go down just so I can start spawning those skeletons, because it is quite nasty in there with all that point defense. Getting some battle rams out in front. Get my second Graveyard spell between the Infernos over the water. I create a little bit of a Venn diagram with my frost spells just to get those backside key point defenses. And then the 3 cannons over there and a spear thrower, I was not worried about at all, because I know I'm going to do a pretty good job tanking for my Sparky. The 1 super miner, watch what it does throughout the whole raid. Insane value. It got out that crusher that I wanted, and it's going to get this Inferno for me. That's all I wanted it to do, was just get some defense, and with that bomb that it has, it just did wonders for me. So make little additions like that, like with the peck I added on Golem Quarry, or the super miner I added here. So make sure that, do those little no, I wouldn't call them tricks, but just like little things that you can make value of, where you can see like where, say, a P.E.K.K.A comes in valuable. Sometimes on Balloon Lagoon, a Super Dragon comes in very beneficial, because some people load up their air defenses on the right hand side of the map. Say if it's close to stock, they changed it up a little bit. You can send an Inferno Dragon from the start where you deployed your Sparky, but it'll go towards the left hand side and just like wreak havoc on the rockets. But that's just little things you guys got to get in tune with, and that'll happen once you guys get more and more experience and just work with this even more. But okay, so we're taking all that down. That's Balloon Lagoon done and dusted, and then we're gonna move to Dragon Cliffs. And here you're gonna notice something very spread out. You're like, what, Akash? I've never seen you use miners on Dragon Cliffs. Usually you're such a lover of using Sparky and Golem on it. Yes, 100%. But reason being, and I actually kind of want to explain this so you guys can kind of understand my thought process. This is quite leveled up. So yes, miners can definitely work. But the reason I'm using miners, it's so spread out. If I had used my Sparky, I felt like Sparky would have went up this right-hand side, got stuck on this left-hand side, 2 dragons. I wouldn't have had great openings to get giants in there. And I felt like those 2 dragons would have just ruined my Sparky. So I was just like, here, I'm going to start off with a frost spell right off the bat, and then a frost spell between these 2 dragons. Reason being, the blast bow's at the back. Usually I would frost that automatically, but because it's so far away from my miners at the start, I don't even have to worry about that. And then I want it because miners don't have as much health anymore. They've been nerfed way too much because they don't do enough damage. So if these dragons stay on a clumped up amount of defenses, oh, it's good night for your miners. So because these are enough spaced out, I'm like, miners can work here. And then these extra addition for barbarians and the battle ram for one less miner is just to distract the dragons a little bit, create some zap traps, take out some trash buildings to get your troops in where you want them to. So first things first, frost spells down to slow down those dragons. Frost spells down on this dragon with some point defense, and got every single key point defense in there. Put a barbarian down because I know people always put a log trap here. Watch this. There it goes. There it's deployed, takes that out. And then I just put my whole set of miners in, and then I get some battle rams in, or my single battle ram in, just to distract the dragon like I'm doing. And then there's some trash buildings down here that usually my miners could run into time problems. I'm going to put a barbarian there. If you see the born barbarian get used, that's why I used it. And now at this point, we're just going to watch miners do their thing. I'll go to 2 times speed because you guys don't need to watch that. And there's the barbarians. I put 2 more just to take care of this spear thrower. I didn't want my miners to split like they did. I was a little slow at getting the air bombs in, but it was kind of a good thing because 3 dragons got lured to it. But check this out. They kind of just buzz their way around, take out some trash buildings. I think they end up getting most of the dragon huts too. So we'll go 4 times speed through here. We've got already close to 5k. And then that dragon's going to take care of that dragon hut. And then I think they got close to taking this one. It did with the bomb. So there's just like 5 dragons lurking. 6k first hit. Thought that was awesome. Then I do the same thing. I'll bring the double frost this time just because this blast bow. I was like, I need it there. And then I need it on these splash defenses with the bomb towers and stuff like that because I thought that was going to be a little scary. And then you're like, whoa, why'd you bring a rocket loon? For what reason? I was just like, I'm just going to pick off that bomb tower. So get all my miners into this spear thrower. I thought the funneling was very solid if I start there. There goes the rocket and a zap just to make sure that goes down 100%. It's going to slow those dragons down and get them a little bit distracted. And this is what I mean. Do you see how that dragon gets shots off now? Before those dragons wouldn't get shots off, that's why miners were so busted against dragon cliffs. Is because once the dragons were about to shoot, they would go underwater. So they've slowed them down even more, and then the defense, the attack speed they do is not as great. And those miners are pretty low health now. But the thing is, you could have brought in a heal spell if you wanted. I just felt, look, the dragons aren't going to get any more shots off. And there's not many more defenses left. So I wasn't too worried about this attack. But if you wanted, you could have bought a heal spell where I brought in the, you know, the one where I used on the backside just like some defenses, not the blast bow. You need the blast bow one for sure. But I don't think I needed the second frost. Okay. Then let's move on to Wizard Valley. Again, Wizard Valley you guys see a lot. But you're going to notice something again that I do. You're like, no graveyard spells. Like, Cash, what are you doing? You always bring Rage or 2 graveyards or Haste 2 graveyards. You never just bring Haste and Frost that you've done twice now. Well, again, same thing. I've ran into some problems, and I think a lot of you guys have had too, because I saw some comments, and then I went to some clans when I was donating Capital Gold, that they're like, hey man, we're really struggling with Wizard Valley and the Infernos when we're doing Haste Graveyard. So I saw these 2 Infernos so close to each other that I could use a Frost on them. I was just like, I'll take advantage of that, use a haste, and then we'll just bust through the core and not worry too much else about anything. And then one thing I knew right away, these guys made a mistake. 2 cannon cards beside each other. I was just like, I'm just going to put 2 sets of minions here, and they're just going to ramp up this left-hand side and take care of the cannon cards. Right-hand side, don't have anything to worry about. Can put a barbarian for this trash building, and then I can just gut the core. So that's the plan. So I get my haste in. I'm going to get my frost in too. And then I'm pretty sure I start with my battle rams to just get some deployment, get the little bombs taken care of, get some more battle rams in, giant to tank, and then my sparky in. I'm waiting a little bit just to take care of these backside spear throwers because I felt like they'd reach my minions. But once they get shot, zap out that multi-cannon. At this point, it's any time I could have put those the minions down, but I was a tad bit slow just because I was really focused on Sparky. But I ended up putting them down. They're going to take care of the cannon cards. Spear throwers are locked onto the giants, so I don't have too much to worry about. And this Inferno right here, I kind of rushed a little bit. I put 3 barbarians there. Did I really need them? No. See, like I deploy them, but I didn't need them at all because my Sparky would have taken one shot. And I think I honestly could have used them for the backside Inferno, and then I would have got even more value from my Sparky. But Sparky got locked onto by the two spear throwers, and it was at like 80% health, and then look how quickly it went down. And look at those cannon carts just getting bullied by the minions. So minions did their job. We gutted the core like we wanted. We didn't get that spear thrower. That would have been kind of nice. But again, not too worried about it. Second attack, like I said all the time, the second attack with Sparky is always the strongest one. And here you can choose, you can pick your poison. What do you want? Not pick your poison. You can use whatever spells you like. I was definitely going to bring the graveyards. I felt like with this section of just point defenses and with the giant cannon, I can just distract that with the graveyard spell. And then honestly, I decided to frost the Inferno just because I didn't want to run into too many problems with it. So get my first battle ram in just to get those starting to get damaged. Get Sparky down. Goes under haste. It's going to go target the spear thrower. I put 2 sets of minions again. I brought them because I feel like they'll just run through the left-hand side while Sparky goes in towards all those point defenses. And then at this point, I'm just tanking. Nothing too crazy. There goes a frost on the Inferno. Sparky's just going to slowly make her way through, nice and methodical. I'm saving the second graveyard for when we get to these backside point defenses. Again, all you got to do is tank for Sparky. And I know sometimes it can be a little bit tricky, but it comes with practice, honestly. I've done so many raid weekend attacks with so many different accounts. You get used to it. But I don't ever think it's easy because when I started, I sucked. If I'm being completely honest, I was also getting lost. So have fun with it. Don't worry too much. And look at that nice little wall we made with the frost spell. It actually allowed them to walk through. So that was really cool seeing that. And now I'm just getting some battle rams in. We'll go speed through this because it's now just Sparky kind of bullying. But look at her health. What is that? 95%? I think she got one shot off. So we did like a near 100% on her tanking. That's what you need to do. And once it comes with practice, you guys will be like, honestly, all stars at it. We'll go to the map now. And then we've got our last district to show is Barbarian Camp. This one, why do I use Haste Graveyard on this one? Why don't you use the Rage? Because you guys are 100% right. This checks all the boxes to bring Rage. So many compact buildings. You can one-shot them. Yes, you were totally right. And I think a Rage spell would have worked fine. But the reason being is, do you see the rockets are on the backside, the giant cannons on the backside? I was like, I don't need a Rage to one-shot those. I just got a bunch of point defense in here. So if I can get a sped-up Sparky, I can just take care of these defenses with graveyard spells to distract them, and then a bunch of battle rams. That's why I brought 14, because they can just tank out all those small little key point defenses. And then on this left-hand side, I was just like, just trash buildings. I'm going to put a set of minions and just let them walk through there. I'm going to put a barbarian down to take care of these 2 trash buildings, so my minions are forced to go up towards there. So, first things first, get the barbarian in. I'm going to let it take out that army camp. And then it's going to move its way over to this little trash hut. And then I'm going to deploy my minions and just forget about them. Let them clear as much as they can. Even if there's some traps over there, I don't care at all. So, here goes a battle ram in, get a giant in, gonna get Sparky. And I'm not rushing too much because I know Sparky's gonna go up towards this air defense, and I don't know which direction she's gonna choose. So I'm just kind of slowly waiting, letting her take the direction she wants. I got my first graveyard in, kind of between those multi-cannons and then regular cannons. Getting in giants at a quicker pace this time is because there's so much defense here. I really need to get my proper value. That cannon locks on to Sparky was a little bit of a mistake. I was a tad bit slow with my battle ram deployment, but we're doing what we want because we're gutting the core. Now Sparky goes up towards the left-hand side. I was expecting her to go to the right-hand side, so you kind of got to change things on the fly. And then here's me just dropping in battle rams and giants in combination just to help out. There goes the 2 bomb towers taken out super easy. Sparky's taking out that. Now moves over to the multi-cannon, and look how much damage a multi-cannon does. My Sparky was at like 60% health, but once those point defenses lock on with some mortars, ooh, it can get nasty. Sparky takes one more shot, takes all that out, and then my hope here was just to get this bomb tower. That works. Sparky goes down. But it was a great solid first hit because we got everything we wanted. And at this point, I'm just debating where to put these 3 barbarians, and I was just like, you know what, I'll just take out that multi-mortar. And now we got 4.6k. And then we left up 6.6. Again, Sparky's attack is best on the second hit. So, I'm just going to let Sparky grind this out. I'm going to frost the backside. And then on these point defenses, I'm going to put a graveyard spell in. And the reason being here is just because it was the same kind of logic. I know my Sparky is going to go up towards the left-hand side. These giants are going to be a little bit annoying, so I brought in some more barbarians. And I'm just going to try luring them with my giants, so once my Sparky shoots, it can kind of take them down to 50% health, and then I've got barbarians to also help out. And then remember, sometimes you can put those giants under the haste spell, but they were walking towards the right-hand side, so they didn't actually help me out at all. So I was just like, you know what, I got to stop doing that. Put 2 barbarians down to take out that giant. Didn't want it to take too much damage on Sparky. 3 more barbarians to take out the rest of those giants. I probably didn't need 3. I probably could have just got away with 1 just because Sparky took them down to half health. And then I forgot I had 2 giants still left to deal with, but that's why I brought the set of minions. It wasn't for cleanup. It was more so if a couple giants got left over. Sparky's doing great. Still at like 90% health, so the tanking's been amazing. I've still got so many battle rams left. We'll go 2 times speed through the rest of this. Put the minions down, and they're going to take care of that last giant. And then they're going to help with cleanup. So it worked perfectly, boys. I was very happy with this attack. And now we're on to the backside. And with the frost, you don't even have to worry about it. And look, Sparky's still 75-ish% health. And that's pretty much all the districts I wanted to show. The capital peak I got to attack, sadly, check that out. I got it to 94%. It was brutal. It was a time fail. But hey, it is what it is. Sometimes you can't win them all. But again, I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of video again. It's been a while. I think it's been 2 weeks. But stay tuned for next week. It's going to be electric. It's going to help you guys, lower level guys. You guys have been asking for it a lot. But I think it'll be right up your guys' alley. And we're going back into our roots of Raid Weekend. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm about to announce the winner for the 1 event pass giveaway. I'm just going to pick the winner right now. I'm going to throw it into a comment picker and just see what I can find. So congratulations to you. I'll be announcing that in the community tab. Thank you guys again. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.